Good morning, students. This is the second part of the explanation of the lesson A Visit to Cambridge. Till now, we have read that Firdaus Kanga got a chance to have a conversation with Stephen Hawking, and they are talking about the life they lead being disabled persons. About 3 minutes later, he responded, I find it amusing when people patronize me. Patronize means to make someone feel better or superior. So, Stephen Hawking says that he finds it very amusing, very interesting when people make him feel special or superior. And do you find it annoying when someone like me comes and disturbs you in your work? Firdaus Kanga puts up another question and he asks him if he finds it annoying when someone like him comes and disturbs him in his work. The answer flashed yes. Then he smiled his one way smile, and I knew without being sentimental or silly that I was looking at one of the most beautiful men in the world. Stephen Hawking replied in positive. He said, yes, I really find it annoying when people come to meet me and disturb me in my work. That was so innocent and an honest answer from him. A first glimpse of him is shocking because he is like a still photograph, as if all those pictures of him in magazines and newspapers have turned three dimensional. Firdaus Kanga says that as we see Stephen Hawking at the first glimpse, he looks like a 3D picture of his own photograph. Then you see the head twisted sideways into a slump, the torso shrunk inside the pale blue shirt, the wasted legs. You look at his eyes, which can speak still, and they are saying something huge and urgent. It is hard to tell what. Firdaus Kanga says that he could twist his head sideways, and his torso, means the upper part of the body, was shrunk inside the pale blue shirt, the wasted legs, because they were paralyzed. You look at his eyes, which can speak still. They are saying something huge and urgent. It is hard to tell what. It was very difficult to tell what he was trying to speak. But you are shaken because you have seen something you never thought could be seen. Before you, like a lantern whose walls are worn so thin you glimpse only the light inside, is the incandescence of the man. Firdaus Kanga compares his body to a lantern whose walls are worn so thin that we are only able to see the light inside. Similarly, we are able to see the inner light or inner glow of Stephen Hawking. The body, almost irrelevant, exists only like a case made of shadows. So that I, no believer in eternal souls, know that this is what each of us is, everything else an accessory. Firdaus Kanga says that our inner glow, our inner light is the most important thing, and whatever we have as a physical body is an accessory. What do you think is the best thing about being disabled? I had asked him earlier. I don't think there is anything good about being disabled. Stephen Hawking says that there is nothing great about being disabled. I think I said. So Firdaus Kanga said that I think you do discover how much kindness there is in the world. Yes, he said. These are the words of Stephen Hawking. It was a disadvantage of his voice synthesizer that it could convey no inflection, no shades or tone. The synthesizer was a machine, so it was unable to convey the emotion or the mood of the world. Yes, whether it was an enthusiastic tone or a sad tone, it was unable to express. And I could not tell how enthusiastically he agreed with me. Every time I shifted in my chair or turned my wrist to watch the time, I wanted to make every one of our 30 minutes count. I felt a huge relief and exhilaration in the possibilities of my body. Firdaus Kanga wanted to make the most of the time he was given to meet with Stephen Hawking, and he was feeling a huge relief and exhilaration. Exhilaration means a feeling of excitement or happiness. How little it mattered then what I would never walk or even stand. Firdaus Kanga himself was a disabled man, but now his disability did not matter much to him because he found a new strength in him. I told him how he had been an inspiration beyond cliche for me and surely for others. Did that thought help him? Cliche means a phrase or an idea which is used so often that it loses its meaning. So, I told him how he had been an inspiration beyond cliche for me and surely for others. Did that thought help him? No, he said, and I thought how foolish I was to ask. When your body is a claustrophobic room and the walls are growing narrower day by day, it doesn't do much good to know that there are people outside smiling with admiration to see you breathing still. So Firdaus Kanga told Stephen Hawking that he had been an inspiration for him and for others as well. But Stephen Hawking was not happy to know this. And the writer realized that when someone's body is a claustrophobic room, claustrophobic means having an intense fear of a crowded place, and the walls are growing narrower day by day. It doesn't do much good to know that there are people outside smiling with admiration to see you breathing still. So the writer says that I realize that it does not help much to know that people are praising you if you are not happy inside. Is there any advice you can give disabled people, something that might help make life better? This was another question asked by Firdaus Kanga to Stephen Hawking. They should concentrate on what they are good at. I think things like the disabled Olympics are a waste of time. I know what you mean. I remembered the years I would spend trying to play a Spanish guitar considerably larger than I was, and how gleefully I had unstrung it one night. So, the advice given by Stephen Hawking to the disabled people was to concentrate on what they are good at. And then Firdaus Kanga shared his own experience that once he tried to play a Spanish guitar which was larger in size than he was. The half hour was up. I think I have annoyed you enough, I said, grinning. Thank you for grinning means smiling, and Firdaus Kanga asked to leave. Stay, I waited. Have some tea. I can show you the garden. Stephen Hawking asked the writer to stay and he offered him to have some tea. The garden was as big as a park, but Stephen Hawking covered every inch, rumbling along in his motorized wheelchair while I dodged to keep out of the way. Although the garden was big, but Stephen Hawking covered every inch. It means he showed him the entire garden sitting in his wheelchair. We couldn't talk very much. The sun made him silent, the letters on his screen disappearing in the glare. As it was sunlight outside, the screen was not visible to him because there was light, so they could not talk much. An hour later, we were ready to leave. I didn't know what to do. I could not kiss him or cry. I touched his shoulder and wheeled out into the summer evening. I looked back and I knew he was waving, though he wasn't. I looked back and I knew he was waving, though he wasn't. This line means that Firdaus Kanga realized that if he would have a perfect body, then he would definitely be waving to him. Watching him, an embodiment of the bravest self, the one I was moving towards, the one I had believed in for so many years. Alone, I knew that my journey was over for now. Watching him, an embodiment of my bravest self. Firdaus Kanga saw his own strength in Stephen Hawking, the one I was moving towards. He was moving towards a stronger version of himself. So Firdaus Kanga gathered so much courage and inspiration by meeting Stephen Hawking. And for now, his journey was over. So, students, this was the explanation of the lesson, a visit to Cambridge. If you have any doubt in this part or in the lesson, you can ask. Thank you.